pal Mugman. They like to roll the dice. By chance they came on a devil's game, and gosh, they paid the price. Paid the price.
Yeah. I think I found my level. Hello everybody, it's Coffee Morning with Carlos Morale, where I talk about a game based upon top secret criteria whilst drinking my morning coffee until my cup is dry. So then, Cuphead. A game that has wowed everyone with its graphical stylings from announcement through to release. A game that has disappointed PlayStation and Nintendo gamers through not appearing on their consoles. And now, a game that, if online discussion is any measuring stick, it's seriously not okay to critique or find fault with. Cuphead comes pre-armed with two classic barriers to discussion. Number one, it has a unique art style, for gaming at least, and is beautifully presented. Number two, it's a very tough game to beat. So let's talk about that second item first. You can relish the challenge of a tough game, or you can prefer to stomp your way untroubled through everything, or sit, like most people, somewhere along that scale. If there's one discussion point that gets my goat, it's this idea that hard games are somehow intrinsically better than easier games, and that not enjoying a game based on its difficulty is somehow an invalid reason for criticism. You can bugger off for a start. I found Cuphead to be a hard game. Now, I could spend more time with the game in order to get good. But in order for me to do that, there would have to be some impetus there beyond the simple desire to complete everything that I play. Run and gun platform shooters don't come easy for me, despite having played games of this sort for like 30 years. I'm playing Green Beret, son. OG Ghosts and Goblins. If boss rush games are your jam, then that's awesome. Cuphead presents some interesting and varied challenges, but contra this is not. Indeed, most of the levels presented here are static affairs taking place on a single screen, where you face off against a boss creature through multiple forms. Only occasionally will you take on one of the run and gun levels with a more traditional platforming flavour and a gauntlet of respawning enemies. These boss encounters are a mixture of pattern recognition and dexterous manipulation of your character in order to survive long enough to move to the next phase. Because your enemies don't have health bars or signs of damage, it seems like you're waiting to move from one phase to the next. These transitions are triggered by damage. At the end of each failed run, you're shown a progress bar, indicating how far along through a given encounter you progressed. This is the only indication you get as to how close you were to victory. Cuphead is a significant challenge, and it's one that you may not find rewarding enough to warrant. In spite of that though, Cuphead deserves praise for its artistic achievement. I mean, just take it in for a moment. Even if this art style doesn't appeal to you, there can be little doubt that it achieves what was intended, to capture the feeling of early Disney cartoons. The colours are vibrant, and the animation just chock full of character and style. Everything constantly bounces and sways with life, almost dancing along to the soundtrack, whilst ostentatious explosions and death animations dot around the screen. Sometimes there's a little too much going on. I a few times got hit by things that I couldn't see because they were hidden behind something else, blah blah blah. Some of the smaller details are really only visible when you're watching somebody else play. And that's the rub. Like the art style it so faithfully copies, Cuphead is an interesting cartoon to watch for a while. Regardless of what some might say about the game's quality, there are going to be people who would be disappointed spending 15 quid on Cuphead when they can watch people stream the game on Twitch for free and experience the schadenfreude of someone else trying and failing a stage 20 times in a row. Or, the other side to that coin, masterfully navigating through the game with style in a manner that the average gamer just isn't going to achieve. Much like the game I'm not mentioning, the number of people who can claim to have beaten and enjoyed Cuphead is likely to be considerably higher than the actual number. It bears repeating, though, that Cuphead looks and sounds gorgeous, and there is fun to be had with the game. It's got tight controls. You may well never have played anything like it before. Most importantly, whether or not the developers mortgaged their homes, worked 70-hour weeks, or even sold off their firstborn children, none of that matters if you just don't like Cuphead. And in the end, that's where I'm standing on this. It's just not for me, and that's it. Thank you ever so much for watching today's video on Cuphead. I trust that you've enjoyed watching it, and hopefully you've got something from your time. And if you have, please not hesitate to leave a like somewhere where you found this video. Consider sharing it with your friends, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time.